What's up, guys? Let's talk about some Bitcoin. Uh, First of all, I apologize in advance if I cough a little bit. My throat has been a little dry the last couple days, so I'm gonna try not to, but I'll have to take a few drinks of water here. We're gonna look at a couple things here. Oof, that is hideous. Can't stand the standard VPVR. So, first of all, I want to look at volume profile on the high time frame. Now this is FTX, so we're missing a lot of chart history. We got all this stuff back here where we came from 20K down, crashed 3K, came up. So we got all this, right? And there's a massive point of control at 6,400 that is currently our point of control from all of this, from the 20K high. From the consolidation after the 20K high, 6,400 is a point of control. We bounced off of it here, and we actually bounced off it again over here, like 6,450. But I wanted to show you this level because I've had this marked on my chart as high volume for a while. Somebody asked me, how do you know it's high volume? Well, it's based on this. Here we've got the point of control of FTX. So essentially everything after this low, our point of control, the low at 3,200 or whatever it was, our point of control is right here at the 8,800 range. And we can mark that out and hide our volume profile. Note, we do not have very much volume above this. There's very little volume on anything above, on any level above this. And that's true even on the Coinbase or BitMEX charts that go back further. There's really not much up here because we crashed from 20K. There was not much volume traded along there. So to move us through this, it likely would not take very much volume based on that. So let's hide this. And I talked to you guys about last week. I posted a video about why I was still bearish, why I was having a hard time seeing the bull case yet. And I talked about this structure here being a large A. Nope, sorry, that's the wrong structure. This structure here being large A, B, C, and then we were starting a new move down. I still expected upside, which we got, and I traded that to the upside and made plenty of profit to the upside. But we've gotten so much higher than what I really expected without a major rejection here. In addition to that, do I have MACD on? No. Let me pull up the MACD. Our weekly MACD is pretty close to crossing positive. Our 3-day MACD has already crossed positive. So when it comes to Elliott wave pivots, let me set it on the mid time frame. We'll show second and third degree. Hit OK. We have a confirmed pivot here of the second degree, not of the third degree, but of the second degree. And that suggests, let's go ahead and hide the third degree. That suggests that we're still in this structure rather than being done with it. So if this was an A up, could this be A, B, C? It's hideous. I absolutely hate this as a B wave. But right now, some variation of that is what I see. Whether it's an ABC, I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. But I'm still seeing right now that we have an impulse up from 3,200. I'm just going to put it here because that's how my drawing was. We have an impulse up. We have a correction behind it, and we need an impulse out of it. And then this whole thing becomes an ABC. A, B, C. I guess I can show you on another chart because I've already shown you the VPVR. I've shown you the importance of this 8,800 level. I've got it at 87.43. I'm going to mark it the same place. Let's go to BitMEX. Yeah, I don't need this. Done with this. Perfect. And we'll mark 6,400. Told you these are high volume levels that I like. So what do we have? We've got a trending move down. 1, 2, 3 waves. Let's put it in log. Now we have a move behind it that's looking like 1, 2, 3 waves. Once this completes, I'm expecting another move down, and I don't think it'll come down this far. It could. Don't get me wrong. It definitely could. Maybe this is COVID returns. COVID-19 makes a comeback. It's very, very possible. I'm seeing numbers in the U.S. right now that still aren't really declining. Texas, areas in Texas have had a higher number of cases confirmed in recent days than days before we stopped our shutdown. So it's very possible that, hey, maybe COVID returns in here, looking at maybe July, and we move back down. So the same idea remains possible where we have a contracting flat, and this actually doesn't make another high. This could be topped out. This could be A, B, C, but that's unlikely to me. More likely to me is that we do make some kind of flat like this. We've got 3 waves coming to near the highs. And I'm imagining a massive sell-off from these levels. People getting out of underwater longs, underwater holdings from long ago are selling near the high. I don't think we've breached the high, personally. We could. I'd be interested in shorting a breach of the high too. But remember, don't start shorting too early. Don't rush into shorts when Bitcoin is running to new highs. So I showed you here A, B, C, my ideas, my high time frame idea. Why is my tone different from last week? Because this 3-day pivot has shown here that we are likely to continue up at the same degree as this. We had this move up. We have 3 internal pivots behind it, suggesting that we're ready for another move up of this degree. Once this was confirmed, I needed to change my bias. I needed to change my tone. Weekly did not confirm. I would have liked to see weekly, or it didn't even get a preliminary. I would have liked to see a preliminary from weekly. It didn't come. But if you look at ETH, it did. So we're going to hide the Elliott wave pivots, and let's go down to a lower time frame here. We'll just look at the daily, still pretty high time frame. I made a long post, you probably saw it. If you're here watching this video, then you probably saw my post yesterday. Over here we have multiple continuation patterns. All of these kept the higher lows intact. Even starting here, we've got a low, we'll change the color. Higher low, higher low, higher low. And this one's kind of hard to see. We'll just call it here higher low, higher low, higher low. Finally, up here, we had a higher low that was broken. If we go down to like a 4-hour chart and look at that, even here, we had a broken higher low. Higher low, broken higher low. So that was an early sign that our trend was complete. But each massive correction had a major impulse out of it. Correction, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, impulse. You can even go as far as saying that this was an impulse and a correction. For me, this is an AB base, but I don't really care what you call it. You can call it whatever you want. This, to me, was an AB base. Some might call it a 1-2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm fine with that. If that's how you want to count it, I don't care. Because we retraced so much, I would rather call this a W, X, Y type formation with an AB base at the top, or at the bottom, excuse me. So what did we do in these impulses? Let's go down. Yeah, I'm on 4-hour. We'll stay on the 4-hour. So we had the initial correction. Then we impulsed out with the pause, still maintaining higher lows. Impulse out with a sharp correction, impulse out. Higher lows not broken the entire time. That is a very bullish move. Now notice right here at the top was our first correction. Right here at the top of the B wave was where we started our first correction before another impulse. Right here at the top was our first correction. Impulse, correction, maintaining higher lows. Impulse, correction, maintaining higher lows. Impulse. Okay, I'm covering this now because I just told you I believe our move now is the same degree as this one. So we could see some similarities in the structure. If we go back down to a 4-hour, let me turn the log off here. We had our first correction right here. If you accept this as a correction, as one piece, which I don't see why you wouldn't. It's very clear, either from here or from here, you've got an A, B, C flat correction, running flat. Higher lows, low, higher 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 low, potential higher low. Look where our first correction started. Our first correction was right at the top of the B wave. This is not new for Bitcoin. So this is something I'm watching coming out of this. Again, I mentioned higher lows this entire time. We want higher lows to maintain. Maintaining higher lows is bullish. Oops, I missed. Higher low, higher low. If we were to come down here and break this, then there's a bearish case. As long as we maintain this at 8,400, I don't think that we're going to be seeing any down moves anytime soon. I think the case is very strong that we continue up out of this, and we're already breaking this trend line here. You've probably seen me draw this structure before, where we have a flat, and we're looking for a breakout of the final wave of the flat. That's bullish. So pretty much, if you were entering now, you're looking at a stop like this. And target, something I did simply yesterday to project targets here. Measure the impulse, or sorry, measure the correction and double it. First target's there. We need a border on this. Second target's up here. Pretty good RR. Oh, it says 5% stop, so you want to manage, you want to understand that. You can put your stop a little higher, but don't put your stop a little higher just to increase your position. Let's go to the 4-hour real quick and see how these targets align with the bigger picture. If this was our correction, understand I'm catching the low and I'm catching the high of the correction. And I'm just showing how much we could potentially expand out of it. This is a rough, easy way to show potential targets. Dang it. Lines up pretty well. First target, 10.7. Second target, 11.6 to 12.3. After this, we can make another large flat. Let me take these off. Say we move up here again, as expected. Just call it 12,000. then we could make another running correction behind it and go again. So what will you be watching? You'll be watching for a break of the higher low. If the higher lows break, then our trend is probably over, like it was here. Higher lows broke, and we corrected down. Now, I'm going to advise extreme caution. Let me zoom out further. This was a B wave. So the first move out of it was not very steep. It was choppy. We ranged for a long time. This whole thing is a B wave, in my opinion. This whole thing is the second wave of a large correction. When we come out of it, we are entering a C wave impulse. We are not entering a B wave that's going to be choppy. So the move out of this could be exceptionally quick. It could be very strong. Don't fade it. Let it find some support before you rebuy a knife drop from these highs. Now our target could be anywhere. It could be here, like this. It could be up here. That's to be determined. Trail your stop loss on longs. If it does indeed play out like this, trail your stop loss so you're making sure you have profits. And when we top, no matter if it's 12,000, 13,000, 16,000, when we top, be very slow to fade the drop. Personally, I'm not looking to trade any of the alts. Structure's kind of funky. We haven't quite fallen under this. But we did breach it. We just didn't close under. In my opinion, Bitcoin will move up stronger than the alts will. And that will force alt Bitcoin pairs down one more time. And that to me is a buy. Any new lows is a buy. This thing, for me, I just see it like this. Move down, corrective move sideways, and a move down. And the next low is probably a buy. It goes for pretty much all alt pairs. To me, this looks like a flat here. And then we're slowly trending down out of it, making higher lows, lower highs as we come out of it. So I'm not looking to trade Bitcoin pairs until after Bitcoin moves. Once Bitcoin moves, then we can consider getting into some alts. Now I've been watching this high volume level on Bitcoin here. I said if as long as we are above this blue box, then we can assume there's probably some bullish continuation. I've already shown you that we're breaking out of this structure. That's bullish. I think it's probably some kind of flat here. Some kind of goofy looking flat. I can see it actually. So we've got A, B, C here. And we've got A, B, C here. So there's a smaller flat in the middle. So you've got 3 down, A, B, C, 3 up, A, B, C, 5 down, 3, 3, 5. And that subdivision should show on the pivots. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the only thing it missed was it didn't flip here, but it shows this as a corrective move from this impulse up. It shows we flipped here. So otherwise, it caught this correction literally perfectly. Settings wise, this is scalper with first degree waves on. So right now, I've already been laddering positions. I do think a good buy now, a good way to get in now, would be to do something like this, where you're buying a break above this high. My only hesitation would be that it could do this, A, B, C. So it could break this high and then come back down. So you would want your stop loss below this high volume area, potentially still below here. But at minimum, you want it here. For me, if we break this high, I'll add on. If 1 hour turns positive, I will add on. I have a pretty high conviction that this move is going to be up to the upside. So I am looking to increase my size as much as I can in early stages while managing my risk. All right, guys, that's everything I got. Showed you Bitcoin, I showed you my bias, I showed you why I'm not trading alts. I'm focusing on Bitcoin over alts. If you have any questions, hit me up.